All right, if you're new here, it's time for a classic quarterly check-in for my series. This is what I do every quarter. I read a lot of series. That's who I am as a fantasy and science fiction reader. I also am like that with TV shows. I love continuing narratives. I think they're fun. I also love standalones, but every quarter I check in, see what I have continued, started, read, and did I accomplish anything I remotely wanted to achieve, and then set up a TBR to help me when I make my monthly TBRs and my monthly expectations when I'm checking books out from the library. All that stuff. I don't think I was very successful last time. No, I don't think I really was. I read some of the things I said I was going to read, and a lot of them got punted or will be on this list, or maybe I'm starting this month. Who knows? Yeah. But I have a lot of books to talk about in the wrap-up because I did read a lot of stuff that I didn't plan to read. And then we'll go into my TBR of my tentative goals. So no particular order, it's just how I wrote it down in Storygraph. So probably that means most recent to oldest. So actually I can reverse it. I'll start at the bottom of the list. So there we go. Order is early fall to late fall. So I read Empire of Sand by Tasha Suri. And you guys know I love Tasha Suri. And if you've seen my DNF video, you already know I'm DNFing this series. But man, I tried. I finally read this book. This book was on so many series TBR. So at least in that regard, winning. In the enjoyment regard, not so much. I was a little bored. I probably should have DNF'd it. I thought about DNFing it, but it was my audiobook for my commute, and so it was just easy to kind of finish. So, yeah, that happened. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia Fairy, read it for my Goodreads project. I really liked it. It was fun. Again, I brought up in my DNF video. I'm probably not going to continue because I kind of got what I wanted from it. Like, I don't feel like I need more. Not that it did anything wrong. I feel content with what I was given. It was a fun time. It was not on any of my lists because I kind of didn't think I would want to read it. I am pleasantly surprised, though. I'm glad I read it in the season I did because it felt like a great fall-winter transition read. We have The Roots of Chaos. Yeah. Day for Fall Night. I don't need to keep harping about how much I don't like this book, but I don't like this book. I don't like this book. I do not understand why it's so popular. It's like similar to why I don't understand why some books in the Wheel of Time are so popular. It's just like, for me, it's just a lot of filler that doesn't land with me, and I have no connection, and it just takes a long time to read. Like, I don't know. It's not hard. It's not difficult. It's not even bad representation or bad fantasy. I just don't get why it's so loved and why it's allowed to be this long. I do not know. The Indian Lake trilogy. So exciting. I already bought the second book, and the third book comes out next year. I don't know when I'll finish the trilogy, because, like, I don't want to, like, burn myself out on a slasher, but I'm excited. I'm really excited. This was such a delight. One of my top 10 books of the year. So fun. Alex Stern. This was a surprise. So I wasn't going to continue with the Ninth House Alex Stern series. Like, I kind of had, like, soft DNF'd it. And then I saw good reviews for Hellbent, but even the good reviews, I was like, but I don't know if I'm still invested. Like, I read Ninth House, and it was fun for me when I read it, but it wasn't, like, an all-time favorite, and I was content. Kind of like Emily Wilde and stuff like that. And then I was like, well, it's going to be for Goodreads Choice Awards, so I should read it for that. And then I really liked it. So I'm definitely finishing that trilogy. That's happening. When I get that third book, it's happening. Fitz and the Fool. I finished it. I did talk about it in my series that I wrapped up later. Like, that was earlier this week on Monday. When will I have the spoons, the energy to put together my Should You Read The Realm of the Elderlings? It will happen. Probably not till 2024. But I finished it. I finished The Realm of the Elderlings, and that, wow. And there was the reading experience of this trilogy was such a roller coaster, because I read the entire thing in fall. So the first book, favorite book of the year, was like reading it all in one sitting, just like on my phone. I couldn't put it down. It was a book that like reminded me I loved to read. Second book, I read half of it, and it's a long book, on my car ride home, all audiobook, even though I hated the audiobook, so that was something. And in the third book, I was perpetually behind on the buddy read. But I still read this like 900-page book, was not prepared. I think it's the longest in the trilogy. It's a 40-hour audiobook. And I read it in like 6 days. So still really fast, but I still perpetually felt behind. So it was very interesting. It was a very odd experience, but a good one. So glad it happened. Threads of Power. Again, let's not beat a dead horse here. I don't like this book. I don't like it. I wasn't planning to read it. I read it for a project. I will not continue unless a project compels me. Legends and Lattes. I read the second book, but it's a prequel in that series. Oh, Kihrin. So the camera moved because of this guy. Yeah, you get to be on camera because you moved the camera. Oh, no. No, Squirmy boy. No. I know all you want to do is play. All you want to do is play because you kitten. He is. Good boy's a little too strong for word, but he's cute. I really like him. Where were we? Legends and Lattes. So I read Bookshops and Bone Dust. That's the name. It was okay. It was okay for me. I'm definitely, unfortunately, fallen to the camp of people who don't love it as much as the first book. I can't really pinpoint why, other than maybe it was just the narrative device or when I read it for Legends and Lattes. I just don't think I find Viv a very compelling character, and I don't self-insert into Viv strongly enough to make that, like, better for me. I think it's really enjoyable and nice, but it's truly kind of a forgettable experience, unfortunately. And then we have Hierarchy, which is The Will of the Many, which was very fun. I was excited to pick this up after reviews. I'm glad I was one of the people who did enjoy it. It's not like a favorite of all time like it is for some people, but I had a very good time. I need the second book. Like, need it. Like, where is it? Where? So that's how I feel. And I do love a series that makes me feel like that, because that's, for me, something I really like. I know there are a lot of people who really like when a series are finished to pick them up because they like to marathon them. I think there's a time and place for that, but I also really do like the anticipation of, like, I need the next book. Kihrin, do not keep playing with things or I'll pick you up again. Kihrin. We're going to see Kihrin again. Mister, why we do that? Why we do that? He's like, oh, he just farted too. Lovely. Lovely farty boy. Kitten farts are great too, if you ever have them. Real pungent. Okay. And then Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. I will continue with that series when we get another book. I will warn anyone who wants to read this, it's not a complete thought, in my opinion. That doesn't have an ending. It's more like a mid-season break. So, like, it is a pausing point. You're not necessarily in a cliffhanger, but what did we accomplish in this book? I don't know. I mean, I liked it. I'm interested in the world and the characters. It was a fun time. But this is a scenario where, unlike the previous book where I'm like, oh, I can't wait for the second book, this one I'm like, yeah, I need the second book, but that's because we didn't really finish the first book. And that version I don't like as much. And then the last book we'll talk about is The Book That Wouldn't Burn, which is the first book in the Library trilogy. What a, interesting trilogy name. This is fine. This is my first Mark Lawrence, probably my last. I really wasn't interested in reading any books by him. Very few of his ideas really compel me, and same with this one. Which is interesting because he is like a sci-fantasy adjacent author, or he does future fantasy, which is something I'm always like, I want more of. And those were the things I liked the most about this book. But for the most part, it just was fine and completely, like, left me after I finished it. Nothing was super surprising to me. I kind of knew what we were doing from the get-go. It was okay. Like, yeah, it was okay. And another book where I don't think it's a bad ending. Like, this one's in the middle of The Will of the Many and Swordcatcher in terms of, like, cliffhanger versus incomplete thought. For me, I can imagine what the answer is to the ending, because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's cliffhanger adjacent, so I'm okay, but I can see readers being like, that's not an ending. No, I don't like that. So, your mileage may vary there. So that's all the series that I started. How many did I start? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I started 8. So that's a large percentage that's 80% of what I talked to you about. So finishing wasn't as high of a priority, but one of the ones I started I did finish. So there's at least that. And you did see my finished series this year video, so I don't do horribly at wrapping up series, so I don't feel bad about it, but it was an interesting fall. I feel like normally I'm wrapping more things up than starting things. So now into the winter series TBR, and this is where I'm going to sound a little repetitive because some things have slipped through the cracks because I started too many things. So let's start with things that are like kind of on my December TBR that I'm hoping to get to. We've got Theft of Swords, which is the first in the Michael J. Sullivan books that I want to try out. I have read the first like 100 pages of this book, but I either need to restart it or continue. I need to do something. I would like to finish this book. So that's on the list. I have the second book in the Mimicking of Known Successes series. So this is the Imposition of Necessary and Unnecessary Objects. So those two are like tentatively on my December TBR. I'm in the middle right now of Iron Flame, and I'm having a really fun time. Nice to be back with that. The audiobooks are really fun. I feel like that's the thing people haven't talked about. Like, I've listened to a lot of audiobooks this fall. Like, a lot. And the Iron Flame audio narrator is really good at speeding up and slowing down her cadence to match the tension of the scene, and I think that makes it more fun. And like it's striking enough that I notice it and want to comment on it. So just as a note there. And then in my dreams, my wildest of dreams, and I just know I don't have enough time, but I would love to read The War Game. I would really love to read The War Game this December. If not December, then January. I really want to read more Bejeweled. Like, oh my goodness, why have I not prioritized this enough? It's been too long. Similarly, I need to get back on the horse. I need to get back to Malazan. 2024. I'm going to read Malazan. I would like to finish it. I might be able to. I only have 4 books left. So if I read 1 a quarter, I could do it. They're long books. They're big commitments. I don't know where my headspace will be, but I could do it. I'm not going to force myself to, but I would like to. And then that's another big series, like, off my list, you know? Like, it feels good to check things off a list. But yeah, I need to get back into that. Yeah, I need to do that. And then I have War Child, which I currently have because I have Kindle Unlimited. So I would like to try this out before I lose access to Kindle Unlimited to see if I like it or not, because then I can invest in the books, because these books are harder for me to get from my library. It's what little I know is a sci-fi military situation, I think second person, which you guys know, I love me a second person story. And then we are going to have a patron buddy read like we do every year. And right now the poll is still open. So if you're watching this, you can still vote. It's going to be to the end of the month, so things could shift. So I'm going to mention both the series that are the top 2. Chances are I might run both, but I'm going to prioritize live shows for the one that wins. That doesn't mean live shows couldn't happen for the other one. Everything's usually just based on interest. Like, if people want something and there's enough people that want it, and by enough I mean like 5 people usually, I'll put it together, you know? Like, that's really how I run the Patreon. It's like, oh, people want to do a thing, I'll make it happen. People don't want to do a thing, I won't make it happen, you know? It's that sort of thing. And so the top 2 right now are the Burning Kingdoms, starting with the Jasmine Throne, because the 3rd book, in theory, I'm pretty sure is coming out next summer. I'll feel even more excited once we have a cover. And if it's not purple, and if it's not Bhumika, we've missed an opportunity, because I think it should be purple, and I think it should be Bhumika. If you know, you know. And then the other one is Terra Ignota, and this is, like, I think a denser, confusing sci-fi that I just think would be really fun to discuss with people, and it's currently in 2nd place. These aren't quite neck and neck. I think there's 3 or 4 votes between the 2. So if you want to join in our discussions next year and you want to have a say, your vote matters. So come join me over there. But I think both of them are tentatively on my winter, if not like early spring, because again, this spring doesn't happen until March 20th for me. So I got some time to do these things. And we'll see when I check in how things are feeling. It does feel odd to no longer just like have a Wheel of Time or Realm of the Elderling to put on these lists. So I'm going to have to come to terms with that. Oh, also there's probably a Cosmere book that I'm forgetting to mention, but it's probably a Stormlight, because we have the 5th Stormlight coming out next year. So if I want to slowly reread them, I should probably start the 1st one in winter. I might have also, you know, in theory signed up to be on a live show for it, but like Way of Kings, I know like the back of my hand. So like, I still love reading it, but like, I've read that book not as many times as like die-hard fans, but I've read it like 4 times. Like, I know Way of Kings. It's a good book. All right. That's it for this video. I hope you are having a lovely start to the winter season. If you want to just leave an emoji to let me know you're here, leave a snowflake. And otherwise, like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.